Start now. There's a
appropriate.
supposed to say Hallel Yom Tov in all the special times. We always praise the Eivishter for all good things that happen. And there's a machlekes Rishonim whether saying Hallel is midiraisa or midrabanan. According to some shit, saying Hallel is midiraisa. The Ramban writes so. The Rambam writes very stark against it. How can you say it's midiraisa? It's a Tehillim was only written later by David HaMelech. About the machlekes Rishonim. The Ramban says it's deraisa. So just like Birchas Torah, you have a suffix. What happens if you forgot? If you say Kriya Shema by Hallel, you also have a machlekes. What's halacha if you forget? Can't remember if you said Hallel. So in the Sukkot, you're saying you say you're going to finish that one later. You run outside, then you can't remember if you said Hallel. So that's a shayla. That's not the main discussion here. This is Hallel on Yom Tov, not on Rosh Chodesh. Bechlal.
The Metzias of Hallel, he's saying.
No. כל המחלוקת פה בקשר למה.
Yeah, that's when you get to Hallel when you say Hallel Shalom. This is when you get to Hallel Shalom.
The ganze Shir geht mit sein auf morgen Rosh Chodesh.
Chodesh is Chatzit Hallel.
Right, so that's right. So I just told you now is just for Chal. It's not what we're going to be talking about.
Aside from Hallel.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about Hallel Rosh Chodesh. So the Gemara in Erchin brings down when are you supposed to say Hallel? When are you supposed to say Hallel? Which days? So the Gemara Malki number 1, it gives a list of all the days you're supposed to say Hallel. It says Shmeina Asra Yomim Shahayachi Goyim Behenes Hallel. These are the 18 days where someone on his own recites complete Hallel. Shmeina Yemei Achag, the 8 days of Sukkot. Shmeina Yemei Chanukah, the 8 days of Chanukah. V'yem Rishon Shal Pesach, and only the first day of Pesach, not the rest of it. The
First 2 days.
The first day. This is in Eretz Yisrael. We're not talking about Chutz La'aretz here.
So Shmeina Yemei Chag, that's Kol Shmi Atzeres.
Yeah. And then V'yem Rishon Shal Atzeres. In Shavuos, Ubegoyla Esin ve'Echad Yom. When you're Chutz La'aretz, you have extra 3 days that we say Hallel, which they are in Tishrei Yemei Chag. That's 9 days of Sukkot. You have extra days. Shmeini Yemei Chanukah, V'shnei Yom Tovim Shel Pesach, the first 2 days of Pesach, V'shnei Yom Tovim Shel Atzeres, and you have the 2 days of Pesach. So the Gemara asks, how come you don't say Hallel the whole entire Pesach? So the Gemara says because each day isn't adding something new. But Sukkot, each day you bring new carbones. Chanukah, each day is another nest, new things happening. Pesach is the same thing the whole Pesach. There's nothing to add in. The Gemara also asks, Rosh Chodesh. Rosh Chodesh is a to agree a Yom Tov and not Torah. You have to bring carbones. You have to do things. So the Gemara says you don't say on your Hallel on Rosh Chodesh because it's not Asur b'Melacha. So that's the Gemara says. What about Purim? The Gemara gives a few different tirutzim. Either reading the Megillah counts as Hallel, or in Chutz La'aretz we don't say Hallel. Different hezbedim. But apparently, see from here, Kol Rosh Chodesh, there is no chiyuv to say Hallel on Rosh Chodesh. However, the Gemara in Tainus brings out that there was that in Bavel they had a minhag that they would say Hallel on Rosh Chodesh. The Gemara says, look at Maramaki number 2. Rav Ikla leBavel. Rav traveled. He went down to Bavel from Eretz Yisrael. Chasinu the Kakaru Halila B'Rish Yarcham. He saw that they were reading Hallel on Rosh Chodesh. So what's going on over here? You don't say Hallel Rosh Chodesh. Moses is making a bracha levatala. Sava laf sukinu. He's going to stop them. But even the chaza, the kam medal gidlugi. Once he knows that they were skipping around, they weren't saying regular Hallel. They were jumping. They were jumping around. So then Amar Shmami, no, he says, I realize over here the minhag avisim b'diyim. It's a minhag they're doing. They're not. They know that Meikar Adin al pi halacha. You're not supposed to say Hallel on Rosh Chodesh, but it's a minhag, and because it's a minhag, that's why they do it an unusual way, and that's why we skip out parts in the Hallel on Rosh Chodesh in order to realize that it's not a chiyuv gomer. It's not Meikar Adin. It's only a minhag.
Yeah, but they came somewhere. Rav came in and he made a tumah. What's he making a tumah for? Let him see what's going on.
So he was going. That's why
we have guys in the shul who come here and make a tumah. They don't wait to see what's going on. But
well, you see, that's why you see he waited. He didn't scream right at the beginning of Hallel. He let them read a few paragraphs. he let them read a few paragraphs before he was going to. He wanted to say something, but he realized they're jumping around, so he let it pass. You see, he didn't scream the second they started reading.
He waited. Okay.
We can learn from Rav how
to approach things. Yeah, when you come to a new place, so you just don't right away say something's going on over there. Okay.
There's a Gemara in Eruvin that talks about that for bris milah, if you tell a guy to go carry something. So the Gemara, I forgot which time later, he was matir to go tell a guy to bring hot water for bris milah. So I think Rabbi Yosef, or he wanted to cut him off. He says, wait, it's also tell a guy to do things on Shabbos. So someone told him that no, wait. He told him when it comes to Isser Deraisa, and you think that Rav is saying something wrong, so it's okay. You could cut him off. You could ask him shayla. So if you know what you're talking about and you think he made a mistake, you could challenge him. If it's Isser Derabanan and you think he's making a mistake, first let him give his psak, and then later you could go challenge him on his psak more respectfully. Whatever, but yeah. So different halachas. How do you argue with people? So what you see from this Gemara over here that even that Meikar Adin you don't have to say Hallel on Rosh Chodesh, but they had a minhag. So the shaila is in the end. The shaila is, do you make a bracha on such a minhag? When you're minhagim, do you make brachas on minhagim? I think it's the Gemara in Sukkah. It says with the aravos that we don't make a bracha when you do aravos because it's a minhag neviim. On a minhag you don't make brachas. So the Rambam, and also at the end, the Gemara says Yochid lo yaschil. Someone by himself, he should not start. He should not start. Im heschel gamer. If he starts, he finished. He should not start Hallel. If he starts Hallel, how does he? Oh, so what's pshat? So the Rambam's the most machmir over here. He says even if you're saying, you don't make a bracha on Hallel Rosh Chodesh. It's a minhag. You don't make a bracha on minhagim. Even if you're davening b'tzibur, you do not make a bracha on Hallel. And with b'tzibur you say Hallel without a bracha and you jump around. What if you're davening by yourself? So if you're davening by yourself, then I was like, don't say Hallel. Even without a bracha, you shouldn't say Hallel if you're davening by yourself. That's what the Gemara says. Yachid lo yaschil. You should not start saying Hallel at all. And if you started,
does that have to do with a bracha?
Yachid yaschil?
Yeah.
According to the Rambam, no. According to the Rambam, it's nothing to do. When the Pasha touches the Gemara.
It's
machlekes. How do you touch it? It's machlekes Rishonim.
How you touch this Gemara?
Yeah.
What's the connection between the story then and the?
They're talking about saying Hallel on Rosh Chodesh. They were over there. They were saying it b'tzibur. Over there,
he didn't see if they made a bracha or not.
But that's you wouldn't, because it's just a minute. So you don't make a bracha.
So.
No, but what's
You start according to the Rambam. If you started saying Hallel without a bracha, Yachid shouldn't say Hallel even without a bracha. If you started
skipping or no skipping.
No, you finish Hallel with skipping. You finish Hallel with skipping. That's how the Rambam teaches.
They didn't say regular Hallel.
So,
they don't say the Hallel we said. This is different Hallel.
No, half Hallel.
It's the same
half
Hallel.
Hallel is
It's the
skipping.
same Hallel.
That's the pshat. That's the pshat.
It's the same Hallel. That's not skipping. We do half Hallel.
Means half Hallel.
Why do we skip? Because it's only a minhag. It's not Meikar Adin. So therefore, we do it in a different way.
I thought it meant over here. They said things out loud, and like the Gemara says.
No, not that.
No, not that. Okay.
No. So this is the Rambam's shita. And Ravinu Tam, some of the other Rishonim, they learn different. They say no, you do make a bracha. They say you make a bracha when you're doing a b'tzibur. When you're doing a b'tzibur, not only b'tzibur, even b'yachid. How can you make a bracha on a minhag? So there's different types of minhagim. Nashim are Mekayim mitzvah, they're not mechuyev v'davar. They're noyeg. They want to do it. It's a rishus. So it's a rishus, but they make a bracha when Nashim do mitzvahs. So it's over here, Hallel Rosh Chodesh is like a rishus. You don't have to do it, but if you want to do it, you can do it. You can make a bracha. Anytime is even a yachid, not only a tzibur, can make up that. This minhag isn't only a tzibur. This minhag, even but when someone's davening by himself, he can also make this bracha. There's a third group of Rishonim. They're mechanic. They say if you're davening with a minyan, then the minhag is to say Hallel and you say it with a bracha. If you're davening by yourself, there is no minhag. If you want to say Hallel by yourself, because sometimes you can say Hallel. You're reading Psukim with it's not a problem, but you can't make brachas on it.
The Gemara says that you shouldn't. What is it all of a sudden come from?
You should. The Gemara says you shouldn't what? You should.
The Gemara says even the yochid you should not.
Oh, so the shayla is how are you going to teach yochid lo yaskel v'im heskel gamer? So the shayna say only tzibur makes the bracha not a yochid. They would teach yochid lo yaskel, I guess, with a bracha. You shouldn't say it with a bracha in the beginning. V'im heskel, and if you start with a bracha, then you finish. Then you can finish Hallel. with a bracha. So how, and the shittas that say that even a yachin makes with a bracha, I don't remember. I'm not sure how they're going to teach this. Well, I'm not sure how they're going to teach it. So you have a machlekes shaynim. What do you do on Hallel Rosh Chodesh? Rambam says that you don't make a bracha at all, even b'tzibur, and a yachid shouldn't say Hallel at all. And actually, let's read it inside. Marmaki number 3. The Shulchan Aruch brings down the 3 shittas. In some Tavchav Beis of Gimel, Shulchan Aruch says, "V'yesh eimim shehatzibur mevarchin olav betchila likrayas ha'Hallel." Tzibur makes a bracha in the beginning of likrayas ha'Hallel, and ulibseif yahalucha. Then you make a bracha of yahalucha. V'hayachid eim mevarich olav. And a yachid does not make a bracha, but he could say Hallel. V'yesh eimim. Another shit that says af hatzibur im avarchin olav leibet chil v'leibaseif v'zeh das harambam v'cheinegin b'chol Eretz Yisrael s'vivaysel. The Mechaber tells you this is the minhag of Eretz Yisrael, and the tzvardim that like the Rambam, only a tzibur says even a tzibur does not make a bracha when they say Hallel. Comes the Ramah. What's the minhag in Ashkenaz? Now it says v'yishayim the gam yachin mevarich olav that even a yachid who's reading Hallel. Even a yachid who is reading Hallel, the minhag in Ashkenaz is that he does make a bracha. The chayinegim b'medinas eilim. So the chayinegim have a chiluk between the Sfardim and the Ashkenazim. Do you make a bracha? Ashkenazim we always make a bracha even b'yachid, and the Sfardim don't make a bracha at all.
So when does the minhag change itself to say a bracha?
I don't know. Maybe when all the Ashkenazim was not there. What do they do now? The Sfardim still make that bracha. I'm not sure what they do there.
They make with a bracha.
For instance, I think Teiman, they don't.
Okay.
Because they follow the
Rambam.
It's Ashkenazim, Yisrael. I guess they still go with
But
Ashkenazim.
But they don't. No, he's talking about the
So, when the Mitzvah of the Gra came out to Yisrael, they started doing the Gra's Minhagim Ashkenaz Hashem Minhagim.
When is the Rabbis saying, everyone's saying a bracha?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
So the Alter Rebbe in the Siddur, Alter Rebbe says it has a very different psak. We don't have the Alter Rebbe in Hilchos Rosh Chodesh, but in the Siddur, right before Hallel, Alter Rebbe has a unique psak which you don't see in Shulchan Aruch. Look at Maramakim number 4. Alter Rebbe says, the day when you complete Hallel, there's no shayla. Everyone makes a bracha on their own. But b'yamim she'ein gimim es Hallel. What do you do on days when you don't finish the Hallel on Rosh Chodesh and Chol Mei Pesach? Yishlinig shehashliach tzibur levada yivarech b'tchila u'b'seif ha'kol yan v'amin v'yitzu b'berchasei. Alter Rebbe says that in the days when you don't complete the Hallel, the shliach tzibur alone should make the bracha, and everyone's going to be yitzu with him. So there's interesting psak in Alter Rebbe. It's not like the Ramah, it's not like the Mechaber. The Mechaber says no one makes a bracha, and the Ramah L'chayda says that everyone makes a bracha. Alter Rebbe comes and makes a pshara that the shliach that the chazan should make a bracha.
So when we started,
So easy does it. You have to have patience. This is not davening. This is learning.
So what's
Schluss gemacht, das ist noch Bechides. Darf es so eine Woche oder nicht?
We're getting so far. We're getting there.
We'll get there. Everything will
So what's pshat? So the Shara Kelo is masbir that there's a din of Rivam Hadras Melech. That if everyone's doing a mitzvah together, if everyone's doing a mitzvah together, when blowing shofar, reading the Megillah, so one person, B'reivam Hadras Melech doesn't just mean that everyone's doing the mitzvah together. It also means that the person making the bracha needs to, that one person needs to everyone. One person makes the bracha for everyone. That's how you're mekayim properly the din of B'reivam Hadras Melech. And so also he was massive. That's pshat over here. Why the Alter Rebbe says that the shliach tzibur should make the bracha. Look in Maramaki number 6. There's the Alter Rebbe brings the kol makim she'echad peter es chaveirei bebirchas hanenin mipnei kviusam yachad or mipnei shenenin biyachad ben mitzvah. If they're doing a mitzvah together, they're having a hanaf from it together. She'echad yivarech lekulam v'loi kol echad la'atzmei. Each person should not make the bracha by themselves. Shenem b'reiv am handas melech. We try to do it in a group, but abim it's more coveted for the Eibush. So that's how we understand the psak of the Alter Rebbe.
According to this shit, that even on the day when you do say whole Hallel, you should because you're misaska, you're doing it all together.
So exactly. So the shaila is what's pshat? How come Alter Rebbe in the Siddur only says when should the shliach tzibur make the bracha? Only on days when you don't say complete Hallel. But when you say complete Hallel, when you say complete Hallel, you're not supposed to be with the chaz. Everyone else makes their own bracha. Also, Sharkedos Metaretz. He says there's another halacha the Alter Rebbe brings down. Looking at Maramaki number 7. The microphone this halacha is in the Shalah. He says nowadays people the chazanim don't have a mind to be to everyone with their brachas. Like Maramaki number 7, Tafish Yates, it's Hilchos Yom Kippur, talking about the chazan making shechianu for everyone, or should everyone make shechianu by themselves? So Alter Rebbe says nowadays everyone makes shechianu and Yom Kippur by themselves. So Achshav al Harev ein hasheach tzibur mechavin klal lahitzi achidim. But derech klal, why shleach tzibur? He says chazor sashatz. He just says it because that's what we do. He's not having a mind to be yes everyone, but we already have this mindset that we're just saying it because we're supposed to. We're not actually being yes anyone. So therefore, Allah in Yavarach kol echad ve'echad la'atzmei. Therefore, on Yom Kippur, everyone should make the bracha shechianu for himself, b'la'achash quietly. And he should finish the bracha before the shliach tzibur, in order that you can answer amen after the shliach tzibur's bracha. Right? And Alter Rebbe says so too birchas Hallel. You should not be yetzer with the chazan because the chazan is not having a mind to be yetzer everyone. Therefore, it's better to make.
That's not his reason for being up there. Because you might see the people. He's going there. That's to say they're at tefillah, not to be might see.
Usually, by chazar sashatz happens like that. But because we have that mindset, sometimes when the taka is supposed to be yetzer the tzibur, he doesn't have, and he doesn't have that in mind, and he's weiter just reading the bracha without having mind to be yetzer everyone else. So if this is the case that the shliach tzibur doesn't have a mind to be yetzer everyone, how come when a yachid, how come on days when you don't say complete Hallel, the shliach tzibur is yetzer everyone else? So I'll say it's massive because since on the days when you don't complete Hallel b'chal, there are shittos that say you're not supposed to make a brachas b'chal. Yeah, you're not supposed to make a bracha. So therefore, then we'll be saying we'll have the chazan, we'll remind the chazan to make a bracha. But on days when it's a chiv gomer to make a bracha on the Hallel, we don't want to rely on that. We don't want to rely on the chazan. But other days when it's not a chiv gomer, when there's some shit to say we don't need to make a bracha, we'll rely on the chazan. So apparently this was the minhag in the Encyclopedia Talmud. There's a Zevin bringing. I think it's from Zevin. He writes over there that he brings down that the minhag Hasidic Chabad is that they remind the chazan to have in mind to be yetzer everyone. I think a lot of people, some places they still do that. They go before they make an they remind the chazan to have in mind to be yetzer everybody with the bracha of Birchas Hallel.
They make an announcement, right?
Yeah. Also, so then you get rid of the problem that the shliach tzibur isn't being mecham to be yetzer everyone. So that's how the Shara Kilo is masbei pshat and Alter Rebbe. The only thing is, so this is if you're making we're going to get back to this lapel, the minhag. So there's a whole discussion if the minhag changed and nowadays. But before that, let's before we get back to what's the minhag lapel, what does Alter Rebbe hold when you make a bracha when you're davening by yourself without a minyan? What does Alter Rebbe say are you supposed to make a bracha when you say Hallel? So the Alter didn't write clearly, but one of the prints of the Alter Rebbe Siddur, the person who printed it wrote in a footnote that he says he heard from the Alter Rebbe that you're not supposed to make a bracha when you say Hallel by yourself. Look at Maramakim number 5. Maramakim number 5. The Shar Kelel brings down this Saviyad. It's not an Arsidurim, but it says they added in parentheses someone is having myself, you don't make a bracha, sign in the beginning, sign in the end. So he says he heard from that. It's not so clear who wrote this. But he says he heard directly from Alter Rebbe that you should not make a bracha when you're davening by yourselves. So the Shar HaKelel, he doesn't like this. He says, what's the shmuas? He says he can't pass on the shmuas, and he has a list of kindness where he says he doesn't think this is right. Alter Rebbe didn't tell him to write it in the siddur. The Shar HaKelel writes. He says he thinks this is not correct. He says according to Alter Rebbe, you do make a bracha even biyachid, like the Rama says in Shulchan Aruch. Chaim Na in the Chaim Na he says no. The person who wrote this, he's Adam Neman. He had a close shaykhs Alter Rebbe, and it's not just Shmuel's Ba'alma. He heard it directly from the Alter Rebbe. So he says you don't make a bracha when you're davening myself, then it's not gerecht. So that's a machlekes between the Shar HaKelel and the Chaim Na. But what was the minhag of? So what was the minhag of the Rabbeim? What did the Rabbeim do? So we see that even though the Alter Rebbe said one thing, the Rabbeim had a different minhag, not like the way the Alter Rebbe wrote in the Siddur. And first one we know is that Tzemach Tzedek. There's the Rebbe Rashab wrote notes Hagois on his Siddur, and we have those Hagois over there. So there he writes. Look at Maramakim number 8. The Rebbe Rashab writes, "Va'ani sha'alti mikvei kedushas." He asked from his father, "In levarich betchila v'seif biyachid." When he's davening biyachid, should he make a bracha before and after Hallel? V'amar lei sheshol zeis mikvei kedushas Asmer. He asked his father, Tzemach Tzedek, the Heshiv Leishechin Lasis Kamei Reisim. He says you could do whichever one you want. Whatever you want to do, you could do. What? It's not a clear answer. Chaim No also brings from. He says he asked David Tzvi David Tzvi told him that he asked the Rebbe Rashab, I think, what's with making a bracha biyachid? See, the Rashab said I was going to bring it down here. I forgot to stick it in. I think he asked the Tzemach Tzedek, and he asked that him or his father asked the Tzemach Tzedek what was his minhag. He said, "As his Hallel zich machtich a bracha." If the Hallel goes, if it flows, he makes a bracha. You see, he didn't. Looks like sometimes he didn't always make a bracha. Actually, he was could be his misupik a shtickle. Point what to do. And the Sefer Sichos Al Friedrich Rebbe says that the Rebbe Marash said that the Tzemach Tzedek was very afraid of making a bracha on Hallel. He said, but mir, the Rebbe says, ich nehm sich mir. You see, already became more. The Rebbe Marash became more comfortable. The Tzemach Tzedek was nervous in making a bracha. He wasn't sometimes yes, sometimes no. Marash said he's taking upon himself. He's making with a bracha. And there's Shimus, and there's Hayim Yom, where the Rebbe writes on the pale. The Rebbe writes a minute of the pale is to make it when you're davening biyachid, you say a bracha on Hallel before and after, and in the tzion over there. Where's the makar? Where's the makar for this? It's in the Shimus Yuman in Maramakim number 9. And So from the Frierdiker Rebbe says, "Kei Talmid Omar Admonish Moseidin Hallel v'bracha." He would always say Hallel v'bracha. The Rebbe Rasham. Al Omrei Hallel v'bracha Gam Bispali B'tzibur B'Yom Shein Gimim Esa Hallel. So, but Lapel he always made bracha with a Hallel, even when he davened with a minyan, which the Chayra that's not like the Alter Rebbe writes that you should be Yisra from the Shliach Tzibur. Even beyond Mashiach Gimim Hemes Hallel, v'lo Yasmei Birchas Hashliach Tzibur. So you see the Rebbe Rasham already. The Rebbe Rasham was not like the psak in the Siddur. So Amar Gamkin, and he said Nashebratya Inatzin. So an overlander he has a write up on the whole thing. He writes over there. He teaches it by us. Things are different. by the Raveim, where the Raveim on a different madrega. The Alter, even true, the Alter Rebbe says that to be able with the Chazan, but the Raveim by them things are different. They're on their own madrega. So Sha'alti mipnei ma lo yispal ba'atzmi lifnei hatevel. I asked him why do you daven for why do you be Chazan? And then you the Rebbe Rashab, and then you'll be the Chazan. You're going to make the bracha, and then you'll be fine even without the Rebbe in the Siddur. So Vianne ma'al kachas hakolaf in Vogin. Well, I have to take everyone on the wagon with me. So I have to schlep everyone along with me. I'm davening by myself. I'm not sure punkt that's pshat. It's too much avodah to schlep everyone along in his tefillah. So the fail out in the Hayim, the Rebbe only says what the minhag is for a yachid. That the yachid makes a bracha, but for everyone, but when you're davening with a tzibur, l'chayra, you should. Alter Rebbe says you should do it. You should be able with a chazin. The Rabbeim made the bracha themselves. That was for the Rabbeim. You see, he says clear. That was for them. Now, and the Rebbe Taka leaves that out in the Yimim. Well, the pale. There's a sikh on Tafshin Mem Aleph. The Rebbe was talking about that in the schus of saying Hallel and Mashiach should come. So the Rebbe Derech Agav says a word. Look at Makkah number 10. The Hiratzin as fundem Hallel was mezak Rosh Chodesh ubefrat alpi minuk Chasidim as mechapta rein eichli bracha bechashoy. Minuk Chasidim that we chap rein the bracha quietly. So when sukum zu der Shira Hasiris was sein lassen lassen. So the Chagav Rebbe.
This shul, you see both minhagim b'farhesya.
So
the old timers will not say b'shum.
So the fail in the siddur with Agais and the others they put in the sikha as a minhag as you make the bracha. A lot of Rabbanim. So first of all, a lot of Rabbanim say that b'chal lav dafke this is you could be noig alpi this. It's not a mugadik sikha, and a lot of times when you miss out one word, it changes. Like let's say if you were in the word kama, ubefan alpi minhag kama chasidim. Kama chasidim. You add in the word kama, that changes the whole context. Oh, it's not minhag chasidim. Come there's some chasidim. You have a word. You can have a word here or there. It'll change. It'll change the whole teichen. So some people tell that lav dafki you could be neig al pivus, and first that's where you have chilukim and hugging.
How do you do? When do you make the bracha?
Also,
you make it before the chazan, after the chazan,
or you make it so that you're not mama's yoytze with the bracha.
So what's pshat chashoy? What's pshat you make also the minhag is v'chashoy. So I don't know. So either you're not if pshat is you're not supposed to say it publicly. So I don't know. I was having speakers. So if I'm supposed to be saying this by the shir, I wasn't sure what I'm supposed to be doing. So I don't know. The Rebbe said the sikha publicly. So I don't know. I don't think I'm getting into too much trouble. But I don't see either. You take it. Maybe you're not supposed to. It's not supposed to be public announcements, or maybe you're supposed to pshat is you make the bracha quietly. You want to be baravim for a heskia, be noyig, not like what the Alter Rebbe says in the siddur. Quietly.
People when they're actually at tzibur and there's no people around to say it, those same people don't make the bracha. It's the same.
But we have a similar hayra when it comes to making saying the Til Sidayim when you're up the whole night saying making a bracha on the Til Sidayim and the L'kain Yisham and the Siddur the Alter Rebbe passes you shouldn't do the Til Sidayim and the L'kain Yisham. The Rebbe in the letter writes that there's a hayra b'chashayi that you do it. So it's b'chashayi. You don't publicly announce it, or it means that you don't want to. You do it quietly. You don't want to out loud make a bracha or do something which is beferish against Alter Rebbe. So I don't know, however you teach it. That's where this is where the different minhagim nowadays come from. So.
But I heard they used to say Baruch Hu Baruch Shemai to make themselves to be.
Oh, you're asking when should you make the bracha? So Lepel, you saw in Marimaki number 7. Now that it talks about saying Shechianu. Alter Rebbe says you should finish Shechion before the Shliach Tzibur, so you can answer Amin to his bracha.
So it's not a hefzik. You make the bracha, then you hear the Shliach Tzibur, and you answer Amin. It's not a problem with a hefzik. It's not a problem with a hefzik.
Oh, a hefzik to answer Amin? A hefzik.
It is a problem. It is a problem with a hefzik.
But how? That's a bracha with
But Shechianu, when we make Yom Kippur, there's nothing after. You're not doing after it. You make Shechianu over here. Look, it's a hefzik. And unless you start saying the first part, then you're allowed to answer Amen. You're allowed to answer Amen.
It's the same din as Kriya Shema. Probably meaning Hishmei Ravo.
There is not a.
I think so.
There is not a get the hefsek. It's not a bracha for the Shechianu there.
Right.
It's
When
a
you
thing for
finish,
itself.
it's on the yontif. But over here, you're making the bracha. You're supposed to start saying.
So hefzik, you're making answering Amin to the bracha on Hallel. Some people.
That's what I'm asking. It's up to you. I don't know. The base level presents a hefzik.
I don't know. I heard some people say that they're meirich in Shemana Esrei, so they finished davening Shemana Esrei right after the Shliach Tzibur made his bracha. So now they have to make their own bracha.
You can answer about Rosh Chodesh, so you have to. Do kunst, you could call.
No, but you could have.
The shaila is if you're supposed to. You can't say
Bottom line is that do whatever you want.
That's everyone should ask their Rav.